Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bella and I love all things design and DIY, and today I'm going to be talking about just that. I just love a fresh start. I love starting up new things, making changes. Everything just feels so fresh at this time of year, and I just get so motivated to just get my life together. Today, I'm going to be talking about a few of my goals for this year when it comes to all things DIY. So my sewing goals, my home design goals, things like that, just some things that I want to improve on, work on, prioritize, and basically just a bunch of design things that I want to have fun with. As with all things, resolutions and goals, these are probably going to change throughout the year. I like to think of goals and aspirations as kind of a fluid thing, so none of this is set in stone. One thing that I really want to work on, especially when it comes to sewing, is just being more intentional about what I create. So in 2021, I started a sewing TikTok, and that's kind of what led me to transition to YouTube, because I kind of got burnt out with it, feeling like I didn't only want to be making pieces solely for the purpose of making content. It felt really wasteful, especially when I try to keep sustainability in mind with upcycling clothing and using thrifted fabrics and things like that. But ultimately, in the end, it didn't feel sustainable, even if I was using those things to just make a 15-second TikTok about them. And even though I built a really great community, I will link my TikTok down below, and if you're interested in sewing, there's tons of videos backlogged there for just inspiration or tutorials and little tips. And so I'm really glad that I was able to inspire people there, but it just became something that wasn't inspiring me anymore because it just felt kind of wasteful. So where I'm at right now with my sewing projects is kind of just simplifying things and really focusing more on quantity. No, not quantity. Focusing more on quality over quantity. So I'll still be posting all of my sewing projects probably here on YouTube, but I really just want to diversify my content a little bit more and inspire people to branch out when it comes to making things yourself and being resourceful and upcycling and just kind of letting your creativity flow. So this year, I really just want to focus on documenting how my creativity flows, and that means that sometimes I go through phases where I don't really feel like sewing clothing for a few weeks or even a few months because I don't feel like I need any new pieces in my wardrobe. And so I want to try to be as responsible and also streamlined as I can, because I don't want my closet just overflowing with pieces that I only made for videos and I don't actually wear in real life. So expect to see maybe a little bit less sewing projects, but hopefully that will mean that I'll be able to focus more energy on making better quality pieces and in turn better quality videos for you guys. Another goal that I have when it comes to my sewing, and I guess in the same vein my wardrobe, is that I want to focus a lot more on using natural fibers. I have such an appreciation for textile, specifically natural textile, because it's just the best option in my opinion. I do try to thrift as much fabric as I can and use like pre-existing pieces and upcycle them, but I sometimes do buy new fabric, and I want to focus especially on when I buy fabric new, I want it to be natural. I know this is a huge topic when it comes to sustainability, so I'm really just going to try to do my best this year and just sort of bite this off in little chunks as I can. I also don't want to waste any of the things that I already have, any polyester things in my wardrobe. I still want to wear them because I don't want to just throw out everything I own and send it to a thrift store so that someone else can deal with it. I really want to get the best use out of all of the clothing and fabric that I already own. But when it comes to bringing new things into my life, I want to focus on making more intentional choices with those things and maybe buying less fabric, but spending a little bit more money where I would have been buying quantity, and allot that to buying like really beautiful cottons and linens and things like that. So I want to talk about home design because my biggest goal this year is to really work on my interior design eye. I feel like I've really been coming into my interior style recently and just kind of giving that passion that I've always had as much energy and focus as I possibly can. And it's been so fun for me. I feel so inspired and I'm so excited for this year. Me being very inspired comes with me having a lot of ideas, and one of my biggest goals this year is to just really work on refining, is that the right word? Building on my DIY skills. I want to spend a lot more time and effort learning how to do things the right way as opposed to the easy way, so that I can stay on a budget and achieve the design goals that I have in mind. I also just want to be more experimental when it comes to home design. I want to use more colors, more patterns, and just really not be afraid to try something out. And if I don't like it, then I can just switch it up. I've really taken a corner recently in just thinking of my spaces like canvases. I know that sounds cliche, but I've really just been looking at things like none of this is set in stone. I can just keep moving things from room to room and just keep building this sort of inventory of textiles and patterns and colors and proportions and shapes that I really love, and start experimenting with different combinations, moving things from room to room, and just really letting it flow as opposed to having a design plan, putting it in place and leaving it there. It's been so much more freeing, like for my creativity, just to let things kind of flow. And of course, a huge goal for me is to be documenting all of these plans that I have for this year. I have so many ideas for my spaces, so many DIY projects that I have in mind, and I hope that they will be very inspiring to all of you watching. So I'm really excited to share all of that with you this year. Expect a lot more home design videos on this channel. When it comes to sewing home decor, I can pretty much get by. I've been sewing draperies and bedding and stuff like that for as long as I've been sewing, which is almost my whole life. But I really want to up my skill level when it comes to this category of sewing. Home textiles are so expensive, and I understand why. There's a lot of techniques and skill that go into making these things to make them look professional as opposed to DIY, but I have faith that I have all of the sewing skill level to make really, really beautiful, high quality looking textiles for my home. So that is one thing that I really want to press into this year. And again, speaking about being more intentional with my wardrobe, I feel like textiles for the home are a great place to transfer some of that sewing drive that I have, because I'm pretty set when it comes to my interior style. I know what kind of colors and patterns and things like that I like together, and I feel like those trends, for me at least, because I gravitate to a very traditional but eclectic style, it's a little bit more free for me than my wardrobe is. Whereas in my wardrobe, I'm a little bit more limited when it comes to the sort of colors and shapes and silhouettes I like, not to mention trends changing so quickly and body proportions changing. I think it's a lot more fun to focus my energy into home textiles right now, because it just feels like I can make so many forever pieces, whereas in my wardrobe, that's a little bit more difficult to achieve. I think that textiles are the easiest way to inject a lot of personality and warmth into a space. When I think of designing a room, textiles are always the very first thing that I think of. So I'm so excited to be documenting all of these projects as I go this year, because I just absolutely love the idea of inspiring people to turn their spaces into exactly what they want. I follow so many interior designers on YouTube whose styles are nothing like mine, but just watching them execute their visions inspires me so much to dive deeper into my own personal style and to keep working on my spaces and just make them spaces that I'm in love with. So the thought of me being able to be that person for even one of you out there just would make me so happy. So that's a huge goal for me this year. I think that everybody deserves to be in love with their home, regardless of what your circumstances. If you have a home, if you have a room, if you have a piece of furniture in a room, whatever it is that you have to your name, you deserve to be in love with that thing. So I want to focus a lot of my home design videos coming up on doing things on a really tight budget and teaching you DIY skills that you can use to feel more confident in executing the look that you want without spending a lot of money. So I think that wraps up my DIY goals for 2023. I hope this gave you some inspiration for executing some of your own goals. I love setting goals and just kind of switching things up at this time of year, but I also try not to take them too seriously. So have fun with your goals, especially when it comes to upping your DIY skills. It's something that's creative, it should be fun. It shouldn't be too serious, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. On that note, I hope you stick around and subscribe. I am so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so you could be one of them before I hit 1,000. I have so many exciting videos planned coming up, so if you want to know every time I upload, then you can subscribe down below, and I'll see you back here next time.